Kayla loved her hair. Kayla got her hair from her mother. Her hair was thick and long and beautiful. Her hair was her signature. Kayla was known for her hair until one day Kayla was walking down the street when a bus came out of nowhere and hit her. She was in the hospital for 3 months and expected to stay over a year for mental examinations. She had no scars, no bruises, not even a single scratch on her physically. It was a miracle that she was even alive. The only thing wrong with her physically was clumps of her hair were gone. Kayla's hair was falling out more and more by the hour, by the minute. Kayla held her hair in clumps, crying until her hair was wet in her hands. Her doctors told her due to the damage on her scalp, her hair faleces. Her hair would never grow back in the many spots it was missing. It was clear that Kayla had that in order to have consistency, she would have to shave her whole head. Kayla decided after a week and a half she would go through with it. Kayla sat in a chair as her doctor shaved the remains of her hair off of her misshapen head. 2 months went by when Kayla had the realization that she was going to be bald forever. Then one day, Kayla woke up to breakfast and a gift box wrapped on the side of her hospital bed. Confused and excited for attention, Kayla wondered who got her a gift. She untied the box and almost immediately then hesitated to rip the wrapping paper. The wrapping paper was absolutely hideous and Kayla couldn't make out what exactly was printed all over it. The texture was even worse. It was thick and yet somehow thin, and felt in an oddly way like human skin. Something about this gift made her stomach turn. What could it be? Kayla's curiosity won the battle. She tore open the gift and found a wig. The wig sat alone in the big box without a note or card. The wig startled her at first, as it was definitely not what she was expecting in the slightest. The hair that made up the wig was black and thick, like her own, yet stingy in some spots. But this wig's hair was ratty. The hair was stuck together like a first grader glued it for a project. Kayla decided whoever got it for her must have cared about her enough to know she was insecure about her head to get her such a gift. She would feel bad if her secret giver saw her not wearing it and assumed it was her favorite nurse, who she confided in about her insecurities. As afternoons rolled in, her nurse clocked in for her shift and Kayla rushed to put her ratty wig on and thank her nurse. The nurse came in acting perfectly normal until she saw the wig on Kayla. Frightened, the wig tried to cover her terror with a fake smile as she thought the wig was some type of pet animal. The nurse wore a fake smile when she asked Kayla who got her the new wig. Kayla, confused, explained the situation to the nurse about receiving the wig as a present by the side of her bed. She even admitted her feelings of discomfort after saying the wig to the nurse, who wouldn't agree with Kayla as she pitied the girl who didn't have hair. As the day went by, the wig started to itch Kayla's scalp, but she remembered it was better to have a gross wig than no hair at all. Kayla knew the raggedy wig would need some getting used to on her head. Anyways, into the night, Kayla got itchier and itchier and knew she could not sleep with the awful thing on. As her fingers gently touched the wig, she noticed that the thing was very damp. In disgust, Kayla clutched the wig and pulled it off when her fingers got tangled in the thick hair. Kayla screamed. She felt as if the wig was pulling her fingers and it was in the middle of the night. And not many nurses were working. The ones that were working were too busy to notice her faint screams in the more empty part of the hospital. After a few long seconds, Kayla's fingers were released, but the wig didn't want to come off. A tear fell down Kayla's eye. The tear traveled down her cheek and fell upon a strand of the wig. This is when Kayla noticed something familiar with the tears in her hair. She realized that this was not just some raggedy wig somebody bought her. This was a raggedy wig someone made her. And this wasn't donated hair. This wasn't even fake hair. This was her hair. Her hair that she shaved off months ago. Kayla was sick to her stomach. What kind of sick bastard collected her hair, glued it together, and gave it to her as a present months later? Kayla was in utter fear and when she felt something moving. The wig. stuck to her head. It was now moving. It slowly started growing. Kayla couldn't believe it as she saw the black thick locks become more stringy and damp as they grew down her shoulders. The wig then grew rapidly when it hit the length of her breasts. Kayla couldn't move. She couldn't scream. She couldn't even blink. She held her breath. The wig eventually stopped growing when the last lock of her hair met her feet. Kayla snapped out of her fearful trance and decided that she needed to get out of her hospital room. Her right foot only got one step further. Then it was when the hair grabbed her left ankle, pulling her back. Then the long black stringy hair grabbed her right ankle. Kayla could not move as her hair started to slowly devour her. She screamed and screamed and thought she heard the nurse knock and ask if everything was alright, but soon enough, her hair was in her ears and covering her mouth. Kayla was consumed by the wig at a rate in which she could not stop. The wig fully absorbed Kayla, and she was reported missing the next morning. The only thing left behind in her hospital room was the gift box in which the wig came from. Empty, but one lock of hair. The hair was damp and black and stringy. Hope you guys enjoyed that story. This story was actually written by a friend of mine. This was her first story, the first she's actually written. And gotta say, this was actually a really great story to narrate. I really enjoyed reading this. And this was actually inspired by Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, a popular book series. And this was actually really great. And, you know, I actually enjoyed reading it the first time I read this. And I even asked her if I could narrate this for the video. And she was really cool with it. So, you know, thanks, Bri. But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about the story. I'll be doing more content like this more in the future, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.